better. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's my not better. All right. Yeah. I don't know if it's my computer. I'll see. Hey, Miss Permanent. Here I am again. Let's let people try to get in. Okay. Why did I? Hey, Lawanda, why did I arrest Rob last night? Much better. All right. I guess it's my computer. Uh, but I did laugh. But yeah, I mean, yes, he needs help, but he also is a grown ass man, and I mean, even though he's an alcoholic, he knows that he's an alcoholic, and therefore he knows he needs help. So I'm not going to feel really bad, really bad for him because he know he needs help and he know he's an alcoholic. Now, the he's an alcoholic, so therefore, getting out of jail, um, first thing he want to do is get a drink. But we know alcoholics don't know. They get one drink and they don't know how to stop. But I knew he was gonna end up back in jail. I mean, when he started drinking and he was getting louder and louder and talking crazy, uh, I said he's going to jail because hey, locked and lovely, you cannot you just you can't go to a hotel and be screaming and yelling the way he did. And you know, hotel rooms walls are thin as hell. And loud as he was, I would have called the police on him too. People probably have to get up and go to work, even just because he lost his job. I know Rob is a grown man, but if I was Vic and Octavius, I would have had to say something to him last night instead of enabling. Yes, and they are enablers, especially Octavia want to say that he's his friend. You ain't no friend. You're an enabler. You enabled him. Y'all sit there and watched him act a damn fool, knowing he just got out of jail and that he was on probation. Anybody with any sense would know that if you're on probation, the one main thing that you cannot do or you will violate your probation, and that's to have contact with police again. You violate your probation. They tell you you can't drink. They tell you cannot do drugs, all for a click in the view. If they tell you you have to be at home at night by 9 o'clock, whatever they tell you, and they're going to tell you you have 24 hours to, once you get out of jail, to get that ankle monitor on your leg. If you don't, they will violate you and you'll be back in jail. Now, unless something amazing happens, he's got $500,000 bond. That means if somebody's going to get him out, which I absolutely, he's not getting out. No one, if they didn't have $12,000, he was in jail for what, 2 weeks or so? Who's got $50,000 to pay to try to get him out of jail? And He said he made the statement that he didn't have to pay a bond when he got out of jail. I don't buy that. No one. 500,000 bail, so it's up to you to go and bail him out. And, he wouldn't get bailed out if I had to pay $1,000. Absolutely not, because there's no excuse for stupidity. And I'm sorry. Yes, he's alcoholic, and I do believe he has some mental issues from all that drinking, that alcohol, that straight gut, rock gut ass alcohol. But that still is not an excuse to break the law. It's no excuse for the foul stuff that he says. And he was talking about killing kids and killing old people and women, you know, just he's just foul and just nasty. And there's no excuse for it. None whatsoever. He called, that's not right. I believe you can help Rob. He'll listen to you. Uh, it, you know better than that. If I was to say something to Rob, Rob would call me all kinds of names in the book. First of all, most people don't like the police anyway. And you see how he was talking about the police. And how stupid are you? Well, I know how stupid you are, but how you're stupid. You get on YouTube, on live streaming, and you are talking about killing cops, beating up cops, killing cops. You know, did you really think you would get away with that? I guess you did, because you did it. It's stupid. That's stupid to do. There's no way that you will threaten law enforcement and think that nothing's going to be done to you. That's absolutely, you can't put a hand on a law enforcement officer. Do you know how many people have gone to jail when I had to guide, mostly guys, because I mean, I had to do my jobs, no matter how small I was. But if you struck me, if you put your hands on me, I'm filing charges on you. If you threaten law enforcement, you're going to go to jail. That's just the bottom line to it. That's it. Just threatening them. I'm very surprised YouTube allows his channel to stay up, and he hasn't been paid. And he hasn't been paid a visit from the FBI after threatening to blow up a school bus. Oh, he threatened to blow up a school bus. I'm surprised that they hadn't. Well, they probably was watching him. Um, did you notice? And I don't know. Did you notice how when the police approached him from a distance with their guns drawn? Because I know they had their guns drawn on it. They called his name out. Rackley, get down on your knees. Yeah, he's lucky he did get shot. Absolutely. Because I was looking, I was like, is he real? Is this for real? He's sitting up there talking about, hey, simply, he's standing up there talking about he's on YouTube and you got guns drawn on you, telling you to get down on the ground, and you worried about YouTube. And he had his phone in his hand too. They could have just took him out. Yeah, he was totally ignoring. Yeah, as it is, it's already bad with police shootings. And yet, one, you public intox. So he was going to jail regardless. Okay. And then he's worried about that, and he's got that phone in his hand. They could have said they thought it was a gun. I'm saying he is going to get slaughtered online. Now, I don't know if it was just stupidity or him being drunk, because he was definitely wasted. Wasted. You could tell the way he was talking. And back to Rick Damon and Octavius. The, like everybody's saying, those are no friends. They are not his friend. And Octavius is out for the money grab all over again. All over again. And you know that judge, well, first, his probation officer, but that judge is going to say, look at him and say, you back already? That didn't last. No, it didn't last long. He can say, you mean to tell me I took this chance to let you bond out? You haven't been gone, what, 24 hours, if I'm not mistaken? And you got arrested again? No, unless, like I said, unless some miracle happens. Otherwise, he's not going to get out. One, he threatened the police officer. Well, no, one, he's already on probation with stipulations about drinking and drugs and any other stipulations that they gave him. And then so he violated his probation, and then he threatened law enforcement. I'm telling you, that's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to do, because many fights as I've had with guys trying to arrest them, and if they put their hands on me, if they push me, hit me, whatever, I'm filing charges on you, assault on a police officer, just just like that. I don't care what you did. I don't care how you put your hands on me. I don't care if you just push me. I will file charges on you, assault on a police officer. Did someone call the cops? Hey, Victor, somebody had to call the cops. So, well, I say it like this: they could have had law enforcement checking out his chat already, or two, loud as he was at that motel hotel, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody there called, because the person at the front desk uh, had to come to his room to get him, to tell him he had to keep that noise down. And then I think they said he got into it with his neighbor, which I know is pretty. I mean, I know for sure the neighbor probably, that time of morning he's screaming and yelling like that. I would have called the police on him too. Hey, Lisa girl, someone called them. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then the other thing is, somebody had found out the hotel that he was at and the hotel number, what room he was in. So all they had to do was call. Okay. And one, because he's threatening to kill kids. He was threatening to kill old people and beat up everybody and all of this. He was intoxicated, public intoxication, because he was out walking. So you never know who called the police on him and why he's trying to say the beef sector and name all these people. That don't necessarily mean that somebody from the beef sector called the police on him. Which I don't believe that somebody from the beef sector called. They may have. You just never know. But I think somebody at that hotel did. Either the manager or the person at the front desk, because they probably was getting calls. They probably was hearing him. themselves, and the neighbor probably called. They said his name because he checked in the hotel. Oh, okay. Yeah, because they probably went to the manager's office and got his name. But they probably already knew who he was. I mean, he just got arrested. Um, all they got to do is get on their computer and pull him up and see that he had just got out of jail. Yeah, and police ain't gonna take no threat lightly because I know I did. If you threaten me, you was gonna get charges filed on you. That's bottom line. You know, I've had many that I filed charges on. I even filed charges on the doctor. And all he did was touch me. He touched me, and I filed charges on him, assault on a police officer. So no, um, but for he acted such a fool. Yeah, yeah, Bunny, I sure did. You know, he was trying to be an ass, and he wanted to say, I want your badge number." He touched me, touched my, touched me. That was it. I, I turned him around, put them handcuffs on him. The judge is going to throw the book at him this time. Yeah, because he's going to say, "I can't believe you didn't. You didn't even stay out of jail 5 days. You're back already. You're back already." And they're going to realize he, you know, he should have stayed in there. Or when he got into his probation, they could have seen that he needed a rehab, um, inpatient, because I think he needs inpatient rehab, and they could have sent him to rehab. But he didn't even have time to even start his probation. Yeah, his neighbor put himself in danger confronting him. Oh, his neighbor did confront him. See, I missed that part because he was giving me a headache. I had to take some breaks. Um, does Rob have children? So they are who I fear for. I don't think he have any biological kids. I don't think. Uh, but he was talking about a son, but I don't think he have any biological kids, from my understanding. The guy that my sister over 30 years threatened her first. See, just dangerous. And I would have been, if I was face to face to him, like the neighbor and stuff, and the manager, the way he was doing all that screaming and hollering and cussing and saying all that, I would have been afraid of it. So if I was one of the police officers, I would have drew down on him too. I would have drawn down on him. He needs detox, and yeah, he needs to detox. He didn't, I thought maybe the what 2 weeks was he in jail 2 weeks. I thought that may have helped him a little, but uh, damn, he get out and he goes right back to drinking. I guess telling him better tone it down because he was tired and had to drive in the morning. See, you can't do that. But by that time, he was already intoxicated, and he was steady drinking and steady drinking and steady drinking. Because what's the tat on your upper arm? This this one, this one is my badge, and this one over here is it's a police flag, a, a, a snake head, bullets, and a gun. Yeah, yeah. And this one has my two badges. My two badges on it. One badge, my second badge. Hey, Rebel. He also said he will have the public. Yeah, you threaten to take the police life or threaten the police in any way, you can best believe you're gonna be charged. See, family told him not to drink and not to go on get on YouTube. Yeah, and he did it anyway. Probably said he is his own worst enemy. And what makes it so bad is because he wants that YouTube clout, uh, the clicks and views, and that made it worse because he was gonna get that bottle, get in that room, turn that computer on, and he ended his freedom just like that, just like that. Oh, I like that. Thank you. Simply, yeah. But it's not just drinking. He already talking reckless before he started. Yeah, he's just a mean, nasty person. He's just nasty. People say, "Oh, that's just for shock value." Uh, no, not necessarily. I'm not believing that. He's I mean, but when is he not? When is he sober? When is he ever sober? Can you explain the new charges? Uh, from I don't. The only charge that I've heard that he has is threatening law enforcement. Now, I'm. That's the only one. Have anybody seen anything other than that? Because I'm surprised they didn't get him for public intoxication. I said that yesterday before I went to church. Yeah, yeah. I knew that he was going to go back to jail. Once he said he was in that hotel. He was going to get something to drink. He started talking loud and louder and louder, and then all his so-called friends on his page was just boosting him up. And the louder he got, resistance of arrest, misdemeanor. Wait a minute, he threatened to kidnap kids and kill. Yeah, he did. He did all that craziness, and I bet you they have that video. He threatened to. Let's see. Did he go back to jail last night? I think it was about maybe 5 something this morning, if I'm not mistaken. Willful resistant arrest. It, is that a charge that they actually got him on? Felony threats to commit. Okay, felony threats to commit crime resulted in death or GBI. Is Clyde? Is that are those the charges that the police actually put on him? It is. Oh, baby, he's yep. That's second charge. The second, what's the first one? Because I knew they would have got him for public intox. Yeah, he's there. He's not getting out. He's not getting out. That judge is gonna rip. The judge ain't gonna have no pity on him. None. He made his bed, and he need to lie in it. He absolutely do. And the only way that he's going to get any help, the first was the felony threats. Felony threats um, was it against the officers. I'm patient from his face. Okay, yeah. Because I want to see all the charges they got. He, the police had to see. Get my glasses here. Okay, a misdemeanor willfully resist. Oh, they got him for resisting, delays, or obstructs any public officer. And that's just one of them. Wow. Yep. Yeah, he's in trouble. Yeah, he's done. That's consent. You sure he didn't call on himself? Look how he acted when he was told to get on his knee. Yeah, that's because he's a dumbass, along with being intoxicated, uh, stupidity, and he could have. They could have taken him out, and I mean, out, out, because he was just standing there still talking to the people, talking about what did he say? Damn, or something that old craziness he did the last time when the police came in. He could have got his life taken from him by just standing there and then telling them what the police is saying to him. You better get down on your knees, like they said. And that's why they approached him the way they did. Hey, serious. Um, that is crazy. You can't do that. He's lucky he didn't get out of it. He has penal code 422, felony threats to commit crime resulting in death or GBI. Um, what they put the GBI. That's two charges, one felony and one misdemeanor. Wow. So they had to they had to see his video. They had to be watching, or the video was sent to them. So far, I see two charges. The two I posted in here. They got him on those two charges, which is the highest crime. So they probably didn't get him on public intoxication, unless they add something later. If y'all see anything, let me know. Uh, it's like he wanted. It was like he wanted to. Maybe he wanted to go back to jail. If he lost his job, he I don't know if he left his family's pool house or they kicked him out. If he ain't got no job, he ain't got no money. Did he lose his car too? Then now that's rock bottom. You can't go no lower, and then you're alcoholic on top of that with some mental issues. What happened? Did someone call the police? Yeah, somebody, but that it doesn't mean that it was somebody in the black sector that called. It could have been the people at the hotel or the manager, the guy next door. He was keeping that man up with all that screaming and yelling. Let's see, what did I miss? Decop that could have been totally, yeah, and it would have been done on live, since he was all into being live and wanted everybody to see what was going on. Uh, it could have been the police taking him out online. Someone sent the video to them, pretty sure. Yeah, it had to. You know the laundry cop, so do I. Yep, yep, absolutely. Just, I mean, and then, and now his friends over there want to be mad at the beef sector. You can't be mad. Y'all sitting there enabling him. Now, what happened to the guys? Was it a guy or two guys that came to his room that he knew, and they left and they never came back? Entertainment for a minute, yeah, and it's not entertaining at all, because his family could possibly have gotten a call, one of those calls that he's no longer with us, because he refused to uh, abide by the commands that the police was giving him. So that was not entertaining. That was scary as hell. Yeah, maybe he needed his hair braided. That's why he wanted to go back to jail at 300. I mean, did they say something about he had only had $70 or something? He had nowhere to go. He had no money. He didn't have no job. Well, they were, well, I mean, yeah, people was cash apping, but I heard him say that he didn't have his cash out. That Tracy still had his cash out card, so he couldn't get the money, any money they was cash apping him anyway. Stupid. They edged him on. Yeah, they edged him on. They made him think that he was that guy, and he was the shit. And he just kept running his mouth and running his mouth. I feel like he wanted to be arrested. I did too. I feel like he wanted to go back to jail because there he would get 3 meals in the cot, and he didn't have to pay no rent. He really didn't have anywhere to go, and just had $100. That's crazy. Trisha said it. He has to get new content, and what he do come on acting the ass that he left. That he I left his butchers because it was the same shit. Yeah, and people were saying it was the same old thing. He didn't come on talking about nothing different. Vic needs to go sit his ass wide mouth ass down somewhere. I know he was on there running his mouth, and he should have been trying to talk to the guy and get him off that live, because you know for certain that if the police wasn't looking at that live screen while it was live, then somebody sent that whole video to them. But I mean, it's hard to talk to drunks. Those are the worst people that I had to deal with, because they do not listen. They don't follow commands. They just ramble off and do stupid mess. Yep, they were enabling him. The women on there who were trying to help him. Yep, he kept being disrespectful. Yeah, the two white women that came on was trying to get him to calm down, and he cussing them out, calling them all kinds of names, and those guys just sit there and allowed him to do it, and allowed him to just act a damn fool. It's stupid. Um, I don't. It's crazy if anybody try to donate from the beef sector, donate to him. Our black sector, y'all need to go ahead and handle your own business if that's what y'all want to do. He's not beef sector. He's in the black sector or whatever sector he's in. He's not our problem. Absolutely. Even though Teresa brought that problem over here. And I don't understand why she's sitting her ass crying. What's she crying for? What the hell is she crying for? That man have said some of everything, done talked about your ass so bad, and you sitting over there crying. Child. If that was truly my friend, I would have been trying to get him off the live. If he wouldn't get off of the live, I would have left the live myself. Yeah, I wouldn't be sitting there enabling him, sitting there listening to that craziness when especially when he kept his front door open, wide open, with all that screaming and yelling. They say Teresa was crying. You say, for what? Child, I don't think anybody know for why she was crying. Rob is from the unconscious. Oh, okay, unconscious sector. Okay, well, that's their problem. That is none of our problem. And who's gonna raise $50,000 to try and get him out? And I'm saying try, because if he's violated his probation, he may go and have to. What they gave him three, was it 3 years? He may have to go and serve them 3 years, because he already violated his probation. He's not any of our problems, but he provides content, numbers, and cash apps to people who survive off YouTube. Yeah, over there in the black sector and the conscious sector and all those other sectors, he's not our problem. The big sector, he's not our problem. He's not one of us. Mm-mm, absolutely not. The way they was talking about her, yeah, he is not getting out. No bond on probation violation. No. So he might as well get comfortable. Unconscious, he is. Stupid for sure. The man's mind is flatlined. Yeah, that that alcohol. And they say he had a damn bottle of Jack, was it Jack Daniels or Jim Beam? One of those. That's why he was fucked up. That rock gut. If he's drinking Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, he's drinking that rock gut shit. That make you stupid. He is mentally crazy, stream. Yeah, I mean, click and view. You can't possibly. It can't mean that much to you. No. Um, I mean, it's not like you on YouTube and you famous. You're not famous. You see your ass and went to jail two different times. Was it him that lied on VS? Lied on VS about what? What did? Mm. Oh, from VS title. I I don't know. I don't know if she was talking about him or Octavius. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what she had said. Somebody had said about it that was a lie. But they probably got him now. Drunk as he was, he's probably in the drunk tank. They probably trying to sober him up. There's her title. Oh yeah, I don't know. I seen her title, but I don't know who it was that she said lied on it. He knew that drinking, acting a fool got him locked up the first time. He did it himself, but his friends kept him going. Yeah, yeah. And then he gets out, and they made him think that it was somebody else that did it to him, blaming Beefing 313, uh, and then threatening that Beefing 313, threatening his life and his family's life and his niece. Um, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And I know Troy sent the video that he made in, and that's probably the video that they have. Rob has to want to get help. It's sad, but addiction, mental weakness is serious. Yeah, and it don't seem like he wants to get help. If he would have taken his probation serious and started getting into his probation, they probably, like I said, would have um, demanded that he went to drug rehab. Inpatient, because he definitely needs inpatient. Outpatient wouldn't help him. He's too far gone. You see, the man knocked on his door and told him to keep it down. I'm sure he called. I don't blame. Yeah, I don't blame me because I would have called the first time that his voice raised a little, and he kept talking. I, I would have called. I don't tolerate noise. Absolutely, especially when I pay my money for a room. You ain't finna keep up all that noise. Hey, Dr. Brown, how you doing? Glad to see you. He was even threatening the cop that handcuffed him on that live just plaintiff. Oh, did he? I must have missed that. You can't. You see, that's the part you can't do. Uh, they're police is just not going to take it, and reason being because they don't have to. They can charge you easily resisting. Mm-hmm. Yep. Did you hear Tracy crying hysterically when he was being arrested? We turned out that I was just telling him. Somebody had said she was crying, but I didn't know she was crying like that. For what? This man don't want nothing to do with you. He just want his property back. That's all he talked about. He didn't talk about how much he loved you and all this. No, if he don't see a problem, that is the issue. Yeah, that's why I said he 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 drinks too much to not know that he's an alcoholic, and not only his drinking, his behavior, and then his consequences of drinking the way he do. His consequences is he end up in jail or he's on probation. He's got an interlock device on his car. All of those are consequences of his alcoholism. You know, I think his mental uh, thing is all the alcohol too. But he probably don't think that he have a mental issue. But drinking all that alcohol will affect your brain. Crying out of guilt, possibly. Yeah, could be. Yeah, he had been talking so bad about her right before he got arrested. Yeah, and what we say, you reap what you sow. He's still reaping. She probably thought Rob was going to be shot online. Yeah, she probably did. I think everybody was probably looking like this, watching him not following the commands that they was giving him. He was busy talking about. Oh, okay. He said he has Asperger's syndrome, which is a level of autism. Mm, hmm, Maybe that's why he behaves the way he do. All that yelling and screaming and all that cursing and using. I mean, I just can't take all that loud talking and the screaming and calling and using the M word and calling all those women bees and everything else. He's so disrespectful. Uh, if she was crying because he got arrested, she is crazy the way he badmouthed. Yeah, I mean, what? I mean, how do you even think that's him? Like he don't even like you, so he definitely don't love you to talk to you and tell all those personal private things and to talk about you so bad and you crying for him. I mean, it's crazy. He even said his family told him not to go live but on YouTube, but he said he could do what he wanted. Yeah, that's right. He could do what he wanted. And you see where he is now. $500,000 bond. And I bet when he sober up, because they probably took him straight to a drunk tank and put him in there with all the rest of the drunks until they sober up. And once they sober up, then they will which if y'all got all that information on the charges, then they probably processed him now by now. So stay home, work. Yeah, he should have stayed at home. Well, he couldn't stay at home. He didn't really have a home, but he should have just stayed in the hotel. If he stayed in the hotel room, you know, I was gonna say yeah, he absolutely didn't need to drink at all, but we know he was going to drink. He's an alcoholic. He couldn't wait to get out of jail to get him something to drink. But why not just, if you wanted to get on YouTube, for clear clicks and views, could have just got on YouTube and not been so damn loud. And he kept talking about the police thought that they had took his powwow, and I know they did take it. Okay, so he don't have that one. But if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, and I was paying pretty good close attention, and I thought he accidentally, but not accidentally, flashed the end of a powwow. I don't know if anybody else seen that, but you may not have seen it. But if you remember this, let me see if you remember this, because the people that was up there started yelling, "No, no, no, no! Don't do that! Don't do that!" I seen the end of it because he had that blue sweatshirt on, had his hands in the pockets, and he was talking about they thought they took, but they took the pea shooter, but not. And then I seen the end of it. I was like, this food, I know this food don't have another powwow. Crazy. And why get caught? I I wonder, did they let him go back in the room to get his stuff? If they didn't, then well, somebody like him, he probably carried it with him. It probably was in his sweatshirt pocket. We are in Texas. Texas don't play. Thank God he was not in Dallas. Yeah, he would have. He'd been laying out on that pavement. He said he had several. Yeah, okay. If he said have several, then he probably did, because I'm about sure I see the end of one, the very end of it. So hopefully he didn't get caught with another. Now, if it's in the hotel room and they arrest him outside, because he was walking to the store, wasn't he? Hey, Bird, KB, he he did say that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. I know. I seen it. They were yelling. Those guys were yelling. Don't do that. Don't do that. I said, well, I tell you. But yeah, he made his bed. He's got to lie in it. And see, all his supposed to be friends that was enabling him, that was up on that panel, just egging him on to talk crazy. Hey, Snooky, that was edging him on to talk all that crazy mess, to say all that. Um, they ought to feel some type of way, but they probably won't. They probably won't. And this Octavius, even from the last time I said, that is no friend. He's not. He's not a friend. He's an enabler. Because not one time did he try to stop him. Uh, didn't not one time did he try to, get him to get off that I seen. And even if he wouldn't get off, I wouldn't be sitting in the chat knowing that he just got out of jail and that he he could possibly go back to jail, well, possibly my ass. Um, you know, you just can't be in a hotel and think nobody's going to call on you loud as he was. He's going to feel like an idiot when he said, "Well, yeah, my it ain't my kind of friend." Absolutely, he should feel like a total ass. And by the time that judge gets through with him, crazy Rochelle, Berber, they knew that he was doing too much and didn't even try and talk him down. Sad. Yeah, it was real sad. And I was just sitting there just going like, my goodness, this fool, he's going to jail tonight. I already knew. He made threats against Beef and 313 family. Yeah, I seen that and I heard it and I was thinking, you can't make threats like that. I mean, he gonna talk about all this gang mess and slang that he's using. Uh, you didn't say you weren't talking like that the first time when the police walked in that hotel room, and you wasn't talking that mess when they told you drop down on your knees. That look on his face was priceless, with that hair all over his head. Hey, that Melissa, it's sad. I mean, it's hard to feel sorry for him, but you want to feel sorry because you know that he's an alcoholic and he has issues. But it's hard to because you you're a 45-year-old grown ass man. You know you have problems. You know you got a disease. You're alcoholic. Yet you continue to do the same thing over and over. And how can you expect anything different than getting arrested, going to jail, threatening kids, and messages? Say, yeah, yeah. Are you talking about killing kids, killing babies? Big cop don't get to announce the panel you're holding. Oh, okay, okay. He's a blackout drunk. Well, whenever he do come around, which by this time he's came around because they'll let you stay in the drunk tank just long enough, couple hours or so to sober up, and then they take you out and then they process you, book you, and then take you in the cell or whatever, or leave you in the whole cell until court till it's time for your court to see the judge. And that judge is not going to be a happy camper to see him again. But for these, don't forget his ex fiance told us how he was. Oh, I didn't see her. Was she black or white? Was it wasn't the white chick, or was she white? But he's they haven't added any more charges to his thing. Yeah, him threatening, making them threats. I do believe they got Troy Allen's video, and the way that Troy made that video, yeah, it would get him. It would get him. Plus, they probably have his entire video. Dude threatening the police. Yeah. How the heck he think he's going to get out of that? Because you can't threaten the life of law enforcement. Yeah, he could have said anything else, threatening kids, threatening to kill babies, threatening to, you know, kill old people. But you threaten the life of law enforcement, and you got something on your hands that you got to deal with. And he's lucky they didn't beat the hell out of him, especially since they got him for resisting. Well, didn't nobody see? Had anybody seen his face yet? We don't know. They may have beat the shit out of him, and he's a drunk too. I mean, he was totally wasted and talking stupid. So he may have resisted after the police turned his phone off. If when he goes to court, if we see some bruises on him, we're gonna know he got his ass whooped by the police. Judge ain't gonna be playing with him. No, no. They they don't play like that. If you can't stay out of jail, you get out of jail and you can't stay out 24 hours before you're arrested again, you're a habitual offender. He's going to know there's no help. Well, he's going to know now that he needs probation needs to put you in rehab, inpatient rehab. Get you detoxed first, and for those people that pretend to be his friend, they should have been trying to find a way to get him some help with inpatient treatment. All his friends over there, Octavius and Vic, and all the rest of those folks with all those weird names, looked like he was in shock. Oh, he was shocked, but you can best believe, in his mind, he was thinking, "Oh shit! Not only am I going to jail, I haven't even started my probation." Habitual offender. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. He didn't even give himself time to even start his probation. Because they'll give you like anger management and uh, community service, and there's some other classes and stuff that they make you take, that you have to go through. Um, he 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 didn't even have time to do it. he, and he didn't. He says he didn't have his ankle bracelet yet. Well, he hadn't been out. Well, I don't know how they gonna hit him on that, because he probably, if they gave him 24 hours to have that ankle bracelet on, because normally they tell you, once you get out of jail, you have 24 hours to get to that probation department or whatever department that have the ankle bracelet. You have 24 hours to have that ankle bracelet on. Otherwise, if you don't, they will revoke your probation and your ass going back to jail. Doesn't probation start the minute he's released? Yes. Once that judge says to him, "I'm giving you probation," that's when you're on probation. And you have 24 hours to get that ankle bracelet, that GPS on your ankle. and he said he hadn't gotten here. So he had a certain amount of hours to have that ankle bracelet on. So he just break the rules. He just don't follow the laws, the rules of the court. So it ain't no help for him. He have too many issues. He had no business on YouTube. Absolutely, too many issues. And when I woke up and seen that they said he got arrested, I was like, oh, I knew he was. I know he was going to be arrested. Yeah, and I really think it was the people at the hotel. I really think it was the people at the hotel. Probably the manager. Uh, Probably got all those phone calls, people calling in, thinking he was some crazy person in the parking lot. And the guy next door, he probably called too. He couldn't get no sleep. Not the way he was screaming. Listen, he would have still been in jail with the 150,000 bail. Yeah, because his other, the one before this was 120,000. And see, I don't understand. He said that he didn't have to pay uh, a bail to get out of the jail. That doesn't make sense. These counties, they don't get their money. They gonna make their money. That clown thought probation started once he met the probation officer. Did he really? Mm-mm. No. Because as soon as he go in to see the probation officer, they're probably gonna have him doing piss tests, and they're gonna check his piss, and then they're gonna check to see if he's been drinking. And he was freaking intoxicated, way drunker than Cooter Brown. And I've met plenty Cooter Brown. He was so drunk. I don't know what was wrong with his mouth. He was so drunk. He was all up in the camera. I was like, boy, his ass is drunk. I don't know how he attempted to walk to no store. Neighbors and manager, yeah, I do believe that was a motel folks who called. Yeah, yeah, because he was on 11 hours and he was doing all that screaming and yelling. Absolutely. If anybody I know bail is over $20, their ass in jail. I know that's right. That's what I said. If it was up to me, I ain't paying $1,000 to get you out of jail. You break the law, you break the law. You're gonna have to do your time. Mm-mm. Right. He got out with a public defender. Is he an informant? See, if he got out without paying, but he's such a liar, so you really can't believe him. I have to go what I know the law and how the process goes, because I don't believe that he got out without having to pay a bond. Absolutely not. But it maybe he's an informant. Never know. But never learn. But you wouldn't have thought that he would play this game the way he did to end up being arrested not even 24 hours after he just got out of jail. They're going to look at him like, judge going to say, you're going to rehab, inpatient rehab. So bingo. Because that's what he needs, inpatient rehab. It's not going to do any good. I think he's the type of person that he would say, yeah, that he would say that he likes to drink. He don't want to quit. You know, you have some people that want to quit. Uh, he to me, he seemed like the person that would say, I like alcohol. I don't want to quit, but he needs to be forced because he's going to continue to commit crimes. They might have been watching him. I really believe they were watching him, watching his live stream because they was on it. They were on it. And how would they know all the stuff that he said in the video? Uh, the threatening, the killing of the kids and the babies and elderly people, and talking about R people's wives and women. They had to be, unless um, Troy's video got to them really quick. He self-snitched. Yeah, he did. He did. The cops are on the internet for sure. I I definitely believed that they were probably in his chat or either watching his live stream. I mean, because they probably knew that he was going to jump back on there. Maybe he thought he couldn't be touched if he's working with them. Mm-mm. No, and I don't think he would. I don't really think he would be informant. Uh, oh, thank you, Don Play. Uh, be an informant because they snatched him up quick. Do you think Vic helped him any? Absolutely not. Um, them, which was stupid to me, because why, when this man, he's sitting there, he's terrified. You can see on his face that he's terrified, and you see the lights blinking in the background. He's saying that the police. Why would Vic and Octavius yell out, "Tell him you live stream! Tell him you live stream! You got 1,000 people. Who cares? Who cares if he's? Do you think I would care if I was a police officer arresting him? Would I care that he's live streaming? No, I would have did the same thing the police officer did. Reach over there and turn that shit off. They didn't do anything to help him. If anything, they harmed him. If anything, if his face is bruised up and he got bruises everywhere, they probably harmed him. And probably why he got resisted arrest. I didn't like that. Yeah, that was stupid for them to do that. I don't know where they could. They must be watching TV. That's real life. You yelling, talking about he he's live streaming, but they almost had to. But if he get out quick again, it would seem really suspect. If if he get out, yeah, it would be suspect. If he get out, period, it would make me go, because that doesn't make any sense. So they wouldn't kill him. Is why they yelled that. If they was gonna kill him, they was gonna kill him regardless, whether he was live streaming or not. What could you see? What could you see on there? Nothing. Nothing. All you seen was Rob standing there with that hair all over his head, with that terrified look on his face. That was it. That's all you could see. That live stream wouldn't have helped Rob not one bit. Because when the cops heard a big them hollering there, he reached over there and turned that live stream on. Octavius and Vic didn't give a damn because they ain't going to jail, right? And did you hear Octavius laugh when he got when he said it's the police and they told him to drop to his knees? They laughed. So what kind of friends are those? I would have threw that damn phone. I would have too. And normally they would tell you, drop it. You got something in here, drop it. Your phone or not. You rather have your life or save that phone from being hit, dropped to the ground. I would. It's like people were wanting him to crash out. Yeah, they wanted him to get on there and act the fool the way he was, you know. And did he run out of cigarettes? Why was he going to the store? Drunk as he was, he was too intoxicated to go anywhere. I mean, now you want to talk about hit rock bottom. This should be his rock bottom. He lost his job. I think he don't have a car. He say he left the pool house at the family's house. He had to go to a motel room. And then he's a damn alcoholic. And what else do he have? Rock bottom. He hit it. And if you can't go nowhere else but up. But maybe just 3 years, because didn't he get 3-year probation? So I don't know if he violates his probation, he should go. I don't know if they're gonna leave him in jail or send him to prison to serve 3 years. Shit, at this point, he would have to climb 5 feet up to get from rock bottom. Yeah, he's got a long way to climb. A long way, because he went straight down. Nothing else. And he's hollering about his jewelry that Tracy's supposed to have. What do you say? $9,000, $10,000 worth of jewelry. Just thinking, you're the last woman he had mustard gate. Sure was. But he can get a origin. I mean, all of this, no one in his family don't have anything to do with him. Don't want to be bothered because he's probably just as nasty with them. Oh, alcohol poisoning. Oh yeah, well, yeah. And they said he was drinking Jack Daniel or Jim Beam. I tell you, that's straight rock gut. 3 years, maybe a prison sentence. Yeah, he got 3 years probation. So I don't know if that would be 3 years he'll have to serve in jail or prison. Most people think they say they call jail prison, but jail is not prison. Jail is jail. Prison is prison. So I don't know if he'll have to serve 3 years in prison or not. Let's see. Hey, Kelly Hahn, how you doing? I don't think I would put 50,000 to get him out. No, not going to learn. No, there's no way I would pay $50,000 to get him out. I'm sorry. That's a lesson you need to learn, and you're not gonna learn it by getting out of jail each time that you go and you do stupid shit. You don't learn like that. He only spent 2 weeks in jail. That's not long enough to learn a lesson. Absolutely not. It wasn't long enough when he got the DUIs. He didn't learn from that. He may not drive when he's drinking because he can't unless he have somebody to blow in his interlock device. Um, but he didn't learn from that. Now he turned around and he did the stuff he did this last time. Now he got another. He no learning lesson there. Mm-mm. $50,000? Absolutely not. Whoever would waste their money to pay $50,000 to get him out of jail is absolutely crazy. Mm-mm. I don't feel sorry for him because he was talking about how he didn't care about going to jail. Yo, he was doing all that bullshit. Yo, oh yeah, he was talking about F the police and yeah, yeah. And when I seen when I seen his face when he had his hands up like that and he had that wild look on his face and them eyes were about that big around when he knew them police had their gun drawn on him, saying get down to the ground. I said, where's all that talk now? But what was he saying about he was going when he see that he even was trying to call the police officer's name that arrested him last time. He was talking about if I see that white cracker police on the street, I'm gonna whoop his ass. That's not what you look like, sir. When they told you to get down on the ground, you was looking bugged out and scared as hell. Hey, friend Jay, yeah, you weren't talking all that shit then, but you talking about you gonna whoop that white cracker police ass. Mm-mm. You say stuff like that, that shows contempt for the court. Yes, it does, and that doesn't play well when he's going to ask the court to let him out again. I don't think. Uh, I mean, he's a public defender may ask, but the judge probably gonna say, nope, won't accept it this time. Won't accept it. And say, you're gonna tell the judge, he's gonna tell his attorney, the judge. Do you know he wasn't even out 24 hours before he broke the law again in many ways, doing the same thing on on the internet, threatening people, threatening to kill kids and elderly people and babies, and talking about iron women. And you think I'm gonna let him out again? He's a threat to society. Sorry, that's y'all's friend, but he is a threat to society. He should not be walking around free. Not until he gets help. And being in jail 2 weeks didn't do it, and it ain't gonna do it this time. Rob donate. Rob donate. Act. Act. Hostage. At. Let me see. Rob donate. Act. Maybe hostage at all grandfathers aren't supposed to be his. Rob doesn't act like a grandfather. Oh, okay, Rob doesn't act like a grandfather. Is he really a grandfather? I didn't think he had any kids. I thought they said he had the son that he talked about wasn't his biological. I don't know. Maybe he is. Now, if he is a grandfather, he definitely don't act like one. He's a pathetic piece of a man. And I'm sorry, yeah, he's sick, but he's still pathetic because he's pathetic before he started drinking. He's foul. He's uh, I've never heard any man talk about women the way he does, and they can say it's for shock value. I don't care what it's for. If he can say that stuff, he means that stuff. These YouTube streets ain't for everybody. No, it's definitely not for everybody because some people don't know. you know, you get on here and you live, and anybody can tune in and watch you. And if you're doing stuff that he was doing, the police are looking, watching, and they especially watching him because he just got out of jail for stupidity and weapons, having a weapon as a felon. And then you just got in trouble about a weapon, and you get your ass back on the screen and start talking about weapons. We must be respectful to our women, for real. Absolutely. There's no excuse for disrespecting women. None whatsoever. I don't care how you feel about them. Keep that to yourself. The great mother tapped that ass. Absolutely. Absolutely. Got him both times. And they always say, if you can't, yeah, no excuse. If you don't know how to behave, follow the laws and the rules of the land, we got a place that you can be sent to that will make you won't have a choice but to follow the rules. And in there, they tell you when to eat, when to sleep, when to shit, when to walk around, and you're not gonna be able to go and get you a bottle of Jack Daniels. Now you can make you some hooch, but where he needs to go is rehab, inpatient rehab. He needs to detox. We must give respect to everyone, and everyone should receive respect. Absolutely. Facts. I don't like people telling me what to do. No jail for me. No, that's right. Absolutely. If you don't like people to tell you what to do, jail is not for you. If you don't like to be told what to do, like all that talking he did, talking about what he was going to do to the white cracker police, that face that he had when the police were behind him and had their gun on him, telling him to get down on the ground. His face, I would never forget that. I see it right now. He was terrified. I mean, terrified. His face looked like all the melon just fell. He was white as ash. But some people don't learn. They don't learn. But he should have. He don't even know how close he came to possibly losing his life. Because there's a difference when you get stopped by the police and they walking towards you, okay, with no weapons in their hand, but they yelled for you to drop to the ground, and they had they had those on you, and that means something. I don't know if they 11 hours on YouTube live. I would have be a kickback. I would have a kickback. Yeah. um, I don't know if they, from the last time that they knew that you possibly had a weapon, and that's why they drew down on you. But normally that's when they will just go ahead and draw down on if they know you have been caught with a weapon, and they're not going to take a chance. But Vic and Octavius ought to feel pretty shitty knowing they was on there with all that yelling, talking about you being on live. Because the police, I mean, that served no purpose at all. None, because the people on the live could not see the police until they walked up after he had dropped down to put the handcuffs on. So before then, that served no purpose. The only thing that would do that could have made Rob flinch the wrong way, move the wrong way, turn the wrong way, and they could have taken him out. They say clout is a drug put. I don't see why. Oh, but there's no amount of clout that should have you doing stupid shit like that. None whatsoever. Clicks and views. You could have possibly had your life taken. We're too aged for that mess. I'll be 50 Sunday, and I'll be damned if I trick myself off the streets. Yeah, yeah. And he's too old. It's not like he's some 20-some-year-old that don't know any better. He's too old. And you know when you're alcoholic, you know you need to be careful of some things you should and should not do, especially when you continue to end up in jail, end up with all kinds of charges like he have. It could never be. You get out, and they give you a chance to get probation, and then less than 24 hours, you back in doing the same mess. It can't possibly turn out good for you. But some people, it's like he had his midlife crisis. Midlife crisis, my ass. That ain't no midlife crisis. Not when you. I mean, he could have just stayed in the room, but he wanted to be, you know, what? Stupid. Just the only thing, just stupid. Opening up the door and telling people to drive by, talking all that gang stuff, and threatening law enforcement is just bad all the way around. You absolutely, in this day and time, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And if they seen a piece or heard you talk about, and you was gonna beat the hell out that police officer, and you even tried to call his name. called him a white cracker police. You was gonna beat his ass. Right there was you threatened the police, and they're not gonna stand for that. Cause you said if you see him in the street, you're gonna beat his ass. So that's why if you're drunk, you don't need to have your ass live streaming, saying all that um, stupid stuff that you were saying. I agree. You can't go after law enforcement. It will end up bad for you. Absolutely. I'm since he's got resisting arrest, I would love to see if he got any knots on his head or any bruises. Because they LAPD is known for doing a little make me do right, using them make me do right sticks, and that's them batons. That's what they call make me do right, because they'll make you do right. So I'm just and getting all mad at Troy and threatening him. Can't do that either. Not the threats that he was making toward Troy. No, can't do that. You know, 'cause I was really feeling a little sorry for him because I went back and looked at the video of when he said Teresa hit him in the head, and they had said that he was crying, and I couldn't understand. 45-year-old man crying because he got hit in the head by a woman. But I looked at the video and I listened to him, and I don't know if he was fake crying. It was hard to tell that if he was fake crying or not. Yeah, but I understood if he was crying, why he cried, and like if he was crying, like I said, I don't really know if he was actually really crying, but if he was, I understand because he would rather go in the bathroom, lock himself in there, and cry rather than to knock Tracy on her ass, and then because he knew he would go to prison because he was already on probation. So, and I kind of felt sorry for him. I was like, okay, now I understand. But then today, I mean, last night, he ended up doing the same shit. I mean, it didn't have anything to do with Tracy or a woman, but it was the same thing. Getting on YouTube, threatening people, threatening to take somebody out, and kids and elderly people and women and all this other stuff. So then me feeling sorry for him, it left really quick. It just flew out the window. I'm sorry. I don't have it. I don't feel sorry for him. I wish he'd get some help, and he probably will. This time, they probably will make him go to rehab. Hopefully, I hope, because otherwise he's just gonna come back and keep doing the same thing. And I don't think the judge will let him do that. If he think he's a repeat offender in that same way, I doubt that he will let him out where he keep doing the same thing. Sad, very very sad. So see, well, I guess I'll get off of here. I just wanted to come on, and since at the time before I came on, everybody was live and everybody was hyped, and um, so I thought I'll let it calm down, and I would come and try to talk on the aspect of law enforcement and court, the court system. Um, but I didn't know that he had the charges that he had. So where people think that, I mean, where would he get $50,000 anyway? Now, his so-called friends, there's no way in hell I think that they will come up with no $50,000 to get him out of jail again. I just don't believe. Where are they going to get $50,000? Okay, and then the other thing, he violated his probation even before he started probation. Good, he's violated it in so many ways. So yeah, but so y'all have a go and check out other people. I just wanted to come and calmly try and explain some of the stuff and some of the dumb stuff that he did that he could have gotten his life taken. And Vic, Vic and Octavius, uh, that was in no way y'all should have done that because it served no purpose because you couldn't see the police. So it didn't serve a purpose for Rob for y'all to be yelling like that about him being alive. Um, all right, I will see y'all. You hope you will be seeing more of me. You are a breath of fresh air. Well, thank you, Don Play. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody came by and checked me out. And I will see y'all next video.